Hey, yo, what is going on, guys? This is Chaboi Hybrid here, and this is the third episode of the podcast. We have a lot of shit going on with Twitch, and there's some new games, and there's a new show coming out. So let's discuss about this. Oh yeah, and this is Eugenics, my boy.
Yo,
Um, I want to talk about a Twitch problem that's happening in the Twitch community, and this is a huge problem that I've been seeing over the years. Um, there's a lot of titty streamers.
yeah, it's gotten really big over the past like 2-3 years.
And like my problem, it's like Twitch bans a lot of people for the dumbest things. Like people have been banned with like their shirt off, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, people have been banned for like just even if they should have gotten banned on something, they don't ever like say, "Oh, okay, you can come back after, a couple months." No, they don't do that. But if it's like a titty streamer, it's like if they do something wrong, it's like, "Oh, here's a 7-day ban." I mean, there's a girl named Kamika, I think her name was. She literally got fucked on stream. She only got a 7-day ban.
yeah, and it wasn't even like you can like vaguely tell. I mean, she's literally like she's on the edge of the camera, so like my hand's like right here, so she'd basically be like right there, like right here. You can tell she's bent over, and she's like you can see she's kind of being pushed back and forth a little bit, and then you can also
On the window.
on the window, it was reflective enough you could literally see her boyfriend or whoever just plowing her right behind, and it's like,
On stream. And
yeah, and this is live to like, I think she had like 200 or 300 viewers because she's not some small streamer. I mean, she's fairly large.
I'm sure
And I
she
mean,
even had
it's
more after seeing all that shit. But it's like, okay, and
yeah,
and I saw this from someone reacting about it because this guy got banned because to be fair, his ban made sense, but it's like, so he gets banned permanently, but she gets like a 7-day ban. He got banned, this guy named Gideon, I believe that's what his name is. He got banned because he did a hate raid to Pokimane, whatever her name is, did like a hate raid, which is, that's kind of fucked up. It's kind of, it's being pretty much being a
yeah,
bully and stuff, but it's like, and apparently now like they're fine. Like they don't have any beef anymore, but
yeah.
it's
They
like,
kissed and made up.
so, and it's been like 8 months. His Twitch has been banned because of it. And I understand why he got banned and like, but it's like you ban this man and then just like all these other people that are doing shit that should be permanently banned, they just let him come back.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
it,
there was a chick that was literally playing with herself and got banned and was able to come back. Like,
yeah,
what?
and like I've seen like clips of it from time to time pop up on Twitter and Reddit and shit when I had Reddit like a while ago. I mean, this has been going on for a couple years. You would have girls with the like remote control vibrator thing, um, that you can connect to your smartphone and you can like control the intensity of the vibration. They would be sitting there and you can't see anything, but I mean, like they're messing with it, and people know that they're messing with it, and it's like I mean, I can get it. You can't really see anything, but I mean, you're basically not even implying it. It's straight up inferred. I mean, it's like it's
I
happening.
mean, on top of that, you're getting younger people on the platform. The guy that was talking about this issue, Gideon, he was literally showing that he can't sign into his account. He can't even get into his account because he's banned.
Nope.
But he was showing like first thing on the page, it was a chick. She was naked. She just had paint over her titties. She had paint over her titties, and you can click
Yep.
on
Body
it.
paint.
You can watch it without even being logged in. I mean, that means anyone goes on Twitch. First thing they see is that. It's like, what the.
Yep.
And
And like
and
the
kids
way
get on
Twitch,
this
yeah,
platform. So
and the way Twitch works, because I've discovered this more recently, because I've been actually like being relatively active in your stream recently when I'm bored.
nobody's
If
bored.
you're
Just kidding.
uh, when you're not signed in, the way Twitch works is it doesn't show recommendations based on like your preferences. No, it's here are things that a lot of people are watching right now.
Yeah.
And so if you are a kid or you're someone who's not allowed to have like accounts because they're you don't have your own email and your parents don't want emails from fucking like Twitch or something stupid, you know, this is something you're going to see on the front page. It's not until you make an account and it starts like taking your Google preferences, your YouTube searches to where it narrows it down so that when you open up, you see what you like. Because, like, for me, I listen to a lot of music. I play the
A
drums. I
lot.
watch people play drums. And so for me, I sit there and it's like, okay, I open up Twitch, and usually one of the first things that's being played is someone playing the drums or playing the guitar or something like that, or doing like vocal covers. And I'm sure for someone like Bailey, it's going to be playing someone playing Call of Duty or Warzone or Counter Strike, something like that. And so it's like, you know, that's not something that should be displayed on the front page of someone who's not signed in, because you're going to get a bunch of horny ass teenagers who are going to be watching
Dude,
that.
12-year-olds get on Twitch. I mean, dude, there's 12-year-olds that stream. I mean,
I know,
Jesus.
but I mean, like what I'm saying is like horny ass teenagers. They're going to be going on Twitch, and it's like, well, I can't watch Pornhub because it's fucking blocked, but I can go watch some girl who's got her fucking tits out,
Yeah, it's
and the viewer count's going to go up, which means it's more likely to be displayed on the front page. So when some 8-year-old who doesn't have Twitch opens it up, he's now got some chick with her fucking tits out and only not even wearing clothes. She's just got body paint to like blend the color of her nipples.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm just like, how is this allowed? This should not be allowed. This is destroying the platform. And even from a bigger level than just the platform itself. It's like, dude, you're making women look so bad. You know,
It
it
makes women look really bad,
like
and
there's
it
already
also
a
kind of makes men look bad when they get mad at it for
yeah.
right reasons. And then it's like, you have this like weird sect of people that are like, oh no, it's empowering, and you're just like you're a piece of shit. You're stuck in the fucking 20th century, 19th century, and it's like, no, I just simply think that women only viewing themselves as like, I can only make money by showing my tits is it's anti-feminist. And if you're truly a feminist, you would probably be sitting there going, why is it that you're earning money by having your tits out when you could actually like be playing a video game, or
It's just it pisses me off because I do know people that stream that are female, and it's like these people actually stream and play video games, and they're good at it, and it's like, and they're entertaining, and it's just like, why, why is this allowed? Because I mean,
yeah,
these women that actually work hard and actually stream video games or whatever they're doing. I actually follow someone that straight up just plays music and stuff. She plays whatever people request and she plays it. It's cool,
mhm,
and it's like, why are we allowing this to happen, man? And it's not fair for women that actually stream, because again, it looks bad for women. It's another issue too. It's like with men already, with women in the gaming community. Like it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like I even playing with some people, like every time we're in a lobby, it's like someone has to say shit. Like, oh my god, it's a girl. It's like, okay,
yeah. I mean,
congrats, dude.
when we would play with like Marissa or like Abby, it's like we were almost like kind of like, oh my god, we're talking in game chat. Fuck, because you know Marissa, while she didn't talk a whole lot, Abby's very vocal. And so, like, she'll be talking and shit, and then our teammates and then the other team are either shit talking or they're like flirting with her, and like bad. First of all, it's like incel level bad. And I'm sure it's usually just joking, but it's still like, this is painful
I
to
couldn't
deal with,
imagine
even
being a
just
woman.
like a friend of
I
hers.
couldn't imagine trying to just play video games and this constantly happens. And it does. It always happens. So it's like you got all this shit that's happening. And then on top of like Twitch, it doesn't help. It doesn't help.
No,
So there's many problems in the community. So but again, with like Twitch itself, it just makes it worse. It really
yeah,
does. Like well, it's like the thing is, it's like when some people think about Twitch, even when I'm playing, like, oh, she must be a fucking titty streamer. It's like that's what people think of that shit, dude. It's like,
yep,
no, like just because she streams doesn't mean she's a titty streamer. You know?
yeah. I mean, I feel bad for like the people on the level of like Pokimane. Like I don't really like Pokimane that much. I mean, her content isn't something I necessarily like to watch, but um, there's a certain point where it's like people just sit there and you can just see in her chat if you're like paying attention. People are just like calling her a titty streamer, or oh, you're only going off your looks, and it's like yes, she's hot, but like she's actually playing the game and she's actually good at a lot of the games that she plays regularly. Like I think she used to play like a lot of League of Legends, and she was actually like fairly decent. And it's like, guys, get past your fucking like little fucking horny
Little
ass mind.
wangs.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
just because she's a girl playing video games doesn't mean she's a titty streamer, and she can't help that she is attractive. Any girl can't help if she's attractive.
Dude, I was playing 2 days ago, just whatever, just playing by myself, and then all of a sudden this chick, I kept killing her over and over for some random reason when we're playing Warzone, and then she was making jokes, and then she thought I was like chill about it, like I wasn't being upset about it. She's like, she popped in my stream because she saw that I was live, because it has on my username it says TTV, and then it shows my name. And then she looked me up and she saw me on there. She's like, "Can I add you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." And then she's like, "Yeah, you're pretty cool. Usually I don't add people, but you know, yeah, you're not like everyone. All these dudes are like, 'Oh, hey, baby,' and like acting like really fucking weird and shit." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I don't care. Like, I play with anyone, guys, girls, doesn't matter. Like, even streaming, like Abby. That's kind of how I met her. Was just I somehow found her channel, and then we started playing games, and you know,
Mhm.
so it's like I don't
Yeah,
I don't get why we can't all play games together, and everyone just like fucking put your fucking dick away and use your brain
yeah,
for once.
yeah, and it's like, I have a lot of issues with Twitch because of that. It's like
Yeah, me too.
I think part of it is literally just like like the ability to have the titty streamers and shit like that. It's like you've turned it to where most guys now who are annoyed with the titty streaming see all females that are playing a video game and are streaming are titty streamers, and it's like that's not the case. Like yes, that is something that happens, and I don't think it should be. Like, you know and that's Twitch. I blame Twitch for it, but it's like you also have to get past. It's like no, not every girl playing a video game and streaming is a titty streamer,
Yeah.
and guys just have not gotten past that.
Well, and the crazy part
Or
is
some
this,
guys.
so I think it was last year when it was really popular with like uh women coming in there with swimming pools. It's still huge. But the thing is it was in an IRL area of Twitch where,
Just
yeah,
chatting.
I was just chatting, and they eventually, I think Twitch got uh so many people like getting upset. They started banning these people,
Hmm.
rightfully so. They started banning all these titty streamers, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you're not banned anymore. We now we have an area for you." It's like, what?
Yeah, it's like
Dude,
I get it. They're not doing something necessarily pornographic, but it's like this isn't the right
this
platform for it.
I mean, this is it's all it is for horny dudes to get on. That is it. No dude goes in there like, "Yeah, man, I just want to talk to this woman. She's half naked." It's like, no, like that's
Yeah,
the whole point of her stream is to make guys horny, and then click on our links, click on our OnlyFans, and whatever the fuck she has as her socials.
yeah. The perfect example. I mean, Amaranth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, um she was one of the ones who like first started doing the like hot tub streams and shit. And now it's like half the time when I sign in on Twitch, and it's like a normal person time of day, not fucking like 4 in the morning when like most people are streaming. In the recommended channels that are like on the left side when you're on the main page, it has all the people you're following, and then it has like things we think you might like, or just recommended in general.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sometimes just for whatever reason get Amaranth, and it's like, oh, of course, her fucking thing is set to hot tubs, and it's like
Dude,
now all he does is that. And one time I was like, I'm willing to bet that one of the first things you can click on is her OnlyFans.
I made a joke I think today with someone with a bunch of streamers that I was playing with, and that's another thing too. Is like I love streaming on Twitch because then I meet a bunch of people. Like I
Networking.
now have like a group of people that I play with, and they're streamers. It's dope,
Mm.
but it's like, and the thing is too, it's like Twitch is the only platform I really like on streaming. Like I think the setup is really nice. It's easy, and you can rock like pretty low bit rate to have a pretty good quality stream. Like on
Yeah.
YouTube, it's like I hate the setup of it. I really do. I for streaming, I do not like it. But
Mm.
honestly, I might just say fuck it and just try YouTube. Just because YouTube, it makes more sense for me because then I can actually post videos and all that stuff all together with my streams. But you know,
Yeah.
I like the setup of Twitch.
Yeah.
But fuck, what was I gonna say? But yeah, I mean, this is a huge problem. And
Yeah.
oh, and oh, so what I was gonna say, I'm sorry. Uh, I was playing today, and I was like, yeah, guys, I'm gonna get a wig, fake tits, and I'm just gonna be in a hot tub playing Warzone. Like, why not? I,
Yeah.
you know, and there's actually a dude that I saw. He was doing that. He was straight up. He had a wig and everything, and I was like, dude, this guy's a legend. Like,
Yeah.
because he's making fun of these people. So,
As he should. I mean, I am in general of, like, this. I generally am a person. It's like people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and I'm not gonna stop them. I could give a fuck.
yeah.
But um, it's and this is where it falls into one of those areas where it's like a gray area because it's like you're kind of taking what Twitch was supposed to be about and in general still is, and you're kind of giving it a bad name, but you're also doing it on a platform with kids, which is where it's like, yes, you're not doing something pornographic, but then like most of these girls, like Amaranth, they have their fucking OnlyFans right there in their links. And it's like that's when it's like, okay, no, you have something linked to something pornographic.
I mean, overall, for me, it's like the, overall, it's just not right.
No.
It's not right. It's not fair, especially when people get banned. Even if they, for reasons they should get banned, but it's
Yeah.
like they're permanently banned. But this person like just straight up just showed their pussy, but it's okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's my problem. That's my problem. If you're gonna ban people, fucking ban them right.
Yeah. And another thing that comes with it is that it used to be back in the day that women would get in like 20 fucking 15 and shit. Women would get upset because dudes could play with their shirts off and a
Which
woman couldn't.
crazy.
Yeah. But women couldn't play in like a small tank top or a sports bra. And they're like, "Oh, well, if you guys can have your shirts off, we can have our tits out." And it's like, "Okay, it's not the same thing. It's not." But Twitch was like, "Okay, fine. We'll take the feminist view." And they made it so that men can also be banned for having their shirts off. And then now women are able to like wear either nothing and just be having body paint on, or have like a bikini that barely fits and barely is like covering anything up, and a thong bikini at that, and they don't get in any trouble. But a guy, it can't now still can't have his shirt off when he's streaming and will get banned for a couple days.
It, and overall, it's just gonna really look bad for Twitch. It is, and
Hmm.
it's been a big backlash. People have been giving Twitch shit for years now. So
Yeah.
they really need to fix their stuff because I do like their platform in ways where I like the setup of Twitch where now, especially now, like you love playing the drums and shit like that. You can find that. There's people that do
Hmm.
that stuff where they just play music. There's people that do art. They like art. There's people that do
Yeah.
podcasts on there. I mean, there's so many things now on Twitch that's cool.
Yeah. They've
Um,
expanded a lot, and it's something that I think is good. But this particular thing was not something that they should have expanded into.
and I agree. Um, something I really want to talk about. I don't know if you're really too familiar with it. It's with Call of Duty pro players
I've heard a
versus
little bit about
Warzone
this.
with Warzone pro players.
I've heard a bit about
War
it. I'm not
Warzone pro
horribly.
players.
Yeah, I'm not like. I haven't paid much attention because it's not something I've ever really given a fuck about. But
Yeah.
I've seen some of the stuff, and I do think it's pretty funny.
I this is my thing. It's like this this almost reminds okay, this is like saying in my own opinion, it's like imagine pub stompers back in the day saying that they could be, pro players, COD pro players. That it's a
Yeah,
joke. It's a
like
joke. It's like, dude,
yeah,
you're
like
literally
getting some kid with like a 2 KD who's like lucky as fuck, and like back when it was unskilled matchmaking, they're like, oh yeah, I could take on like a phase fuck, what's his name, Pomage, and it's like no,
Homage is
no,
he's not a pro, by the way.
yeah, but he might as well be.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's like, but you know what I mean, or like someone like Scump.
Yeah, Scump. Yeah.
It's like, no, you can't. Like, these dudes do this for a living and get paid good money to play Call of Duty pretty much all day.
Well,
You
and
really think that you who plays a couple hours a day after school is going to be able to do that? No.
and I always say this too. It's like when I'm playing almost every day, I get 1v1 me, bro. You're shit, and it's like, dude, I literally just murdered you and your whole team. I don't need to prove anything because I already did. It's like
Yeah,
I don't
and we
need
have
to.
skill-based matchmaking now. I mean,
Yeah, it's fucking annoying. Um, and so, well, and then it's crazy. Then I play with like Amber that has a lower KD, dude. Easiest games ever. I mean, literally, I'm dropping like 130 kills, and my team has like 30, 20 kills. Like the fucking the the skill base is so different,
yeah.
and it's just annoying though. It's like when it's just me, it's always at the fucking I do really well, but it's like I have to try my balls off to fucking just to do well.
You actually had to try to drop 60 kills. Whereas when you play with like Amber, or
I can
me, you can
yeah.
drop, like, oh, I'm dropping 130 kills when I'm playing with Amber. I'm dropping like 90 when playing with Eugene,
Well,
and
well, even I mean, to be fair though, Modern Warfare I've gotten pretty good at. So in general, like I do pretty well in general. But like I
yeah,
definitely see a big difference. But yeah, no. So it's like this big beef with CDL and Warzone players, and they're pretty much saying like they want to do 1v1s and stuff, and they've been doing 1v1s, and some of them have beaten a pro player, and they're like, oh look at we're better. It's like nah, dude. A 1v1 doesn't prove if you're better, but proves
no,
if you're actually. I always say this. I'm like, if you guys want to prove that you're better, fucking go to a LAN, play the next COD, and go to these tournaments, and I guarantee you're gonna get fucking swept. It's gonna be a joke. It's gonna be a
yeah.
joke. I
You,
mean,
you don't even have to do that. You can just go online, get what's the CDL rules right now? 5 or 6? 4?
or
Okay. So get 4 Warzone pro players and get 4 fucking pros that don't even play on the same team. So I don't know the teams anymore. I could be
just say
fucked.
phase and optic.
Yeah, get 2 dudes from Phase, 2 dudes from Optic, and just have them sit down in a CDL rules multiplayer, and it's like, you're gonna get shit on. Just like chances are, if you take 4 people who play Warzone professionally and put them against the fucking dudes from Phase and Optic who pretty much only play LAN, you're probably going to do a little better than them. It doesn't prove anything. You're playing 2 completely separate things.
Well, and it's like the thing is too. It's like, bro, these guys. There's a reason they're a professional. They're on a professional team. It's like these guys are fucking good. Like
Yeah,
you ain't and like the thing is too is they're playing Warzone all day, every day. They're playing against pubs. They literally they're playing bots because
yeah. They either play against some kid who's like terrible and is
I mean,
like
dude,
playing
you
his
watch
first game of
you
Warzone, or
watch their
they're
streams. You watch their streams. They play shitters all day, every
yeah,
day. Not me, but it's like yeah. They literally play shitters all day. You're like, damn, they're doing really good. We're like, wait a minute, they're playing shitters. I don't get
yeah,
that. Unless I
yeah,
play
and
with like people that Jeff, Amber. When I play with them, it's easy for me because like it's the skill goes fucking drops crazy.
yeah, and it's like yeah, it's your argument is invalid. It's like saying, oh, I play a fucking I play Overwatch and you play Valorant. I'm gonna be better than you. It's like and neither of you are gonna be better at the game you don't play because it has a different play style. And I mean, like, yes, people are gonna make the argument. Well, Warzone is still Call of Duty. Look, yes, it is. But the thing is, the TTK is astronomically different, especially when you start adding on armor.
From so yeah, that's the thing too. From someone that actually like has played quite a bit of Warzone, it's like, and you have too in your time, but it's like, dude, there's especially now, like you don't know this, but there's a perk now. They nerfed it, but it's still really good. There's a perk where you can pretty much get when you put it on, when you're running, it takes more you take more damage
Hmm.
or less damage when you're running.
That's why would you ever stop running?
Exactly. It's actually ridiculous. I mean, there's a perk where you can shoot through walls. Like you shoot someone, you can see through the wall. So,
Oh my god. Okay, so let me guess.
and they did this. They added that perk when there was a big problem with hacks when people
Oh,
were shooting through walls. That was the funny part.
so let me ask: are these perks specific to?
Your loadout, like you can set it up on your loadout.
Okay, so they're Modern Warfare perks that have a different rule set for
War, but they
Warzone.
added it for Warzone.
Okay, so it's not like they changed double time so that instead of doubling your sprint time,
Yeah,
you take less damage.
yeah. No,
Because I remember it was, I think, I actually don't remember which skill it was, which perk it was back when I played, but there was a couple perks in each perk 1, perk 2, and perk 3 categories where it's like it does this in multiplayer, and then under it said
yeah,
Warzone, it does this.
yeah. So they keep adding more and more bullshit to Warzone where it lets
Yeah,
people do this. But it's just like, dude, you can do you have all these extra perks, these scummy perks, I should say.
yeah.
And then on top of that, you have 3 fucking plates. You're constantly doing some rat shit, like running around from
You have a way bigger map.
and stims, if you like you don't know this, but when you stim, your speed goes like times 3.
Yeah,
So
I,
you
I
can
have
start,
seen that. It's
yeah,
like an adrenaline shot,
yeah.
even though it's not how adrenaline works. Yeah, I've seen some of this shit from watching you play, and like adding juggernauts and shit. And it's like, yeah, they have that
The-
stuff in
you don't see that
Call of.
often. For the
Yeah,
Juggernaut, you don't see that often, but
but
I haven't
like,
seen that all this season, but
yeah, but like in pubs, it's like, yeah, they can drop a juggernaut, but it's like, first of all, why would you? That's way too many fucking like kills
oh,
to
dude,
rely on in a
two
pro game.
we snagged 2 jugs, and I was like, this game's over. Fucking half our team has jugs now.
I remember I was watching the stream that time. You were on Fortune's Keep, I think, and you literally it was you and fucking Joe,
No,
I
no, it
think.
was Rebirth Island.
Okay, yeah. But I remember you and Joe both had a fucking juggernaut, and I think you were playing with Amber and someone else, and they were just
Jeff.
like, yeah, and it was like, okay, yeah, this is over. It's like there was 6 people left, or no, there were 8 people left, I think,
Yeah.
and half of them were you, and a quarter of the game is on the same team, and both have Juggernaut. There's no way you're losing unless somehow you drop a nuke in fucking Warzone.
I'm just like, to me, it's just like, bro,
I, I
they act like taking there's so much skill into Warzone. There really isn't, dude. There really
there. I
isn't.
mean,
There
there is some
is.
skill, but it's a completely separate skill set.
Like you can't in a normal Call of Duty match, you can't be running around and not, you can't just run around and be like, okay, I'm fine. Like
Yeah,
you'll
and
get shot and die.
and you also can't like rat up as much as you can because it's like you don't have a fucking 12-story tall building that you can rat up in one
Well,
room.
the thing is too, it's like, say you're running down a lane, you go past another lane. It's
Hmm.
like in Warzone, you can get shot at, but you can stim up, but you can still keep going. And,
Yeah,
and in this one, it's like you get shot at. Okay, okay. If you get shot at one more time, you're dead. But in the
hmm,
Warzone, you have like fucking damage for days, and then you got
yeah,
your stim.
and
It's
your armor plates. You have 3 and then another 5 in backup.
yeah,
Whereas in
dude.
Call of Duty, it's like, yeah, your friendly can drop armor plate if that's their fucking like uh, skill for their class, or no, that's they don't have a class base. But if that's their fucking perk or
I understand what you're
skill,
saying. Yeah,
yeah, and it's like, but they only get it 1 per life, and it once it breaks, you can't go get another one. It is you spawn, you pick it up if it's available, and that's it.
yeah. So the whole thing is dumb. I think the beef is stupid. But there, Hitch, which is a guy that's from Optic, he just does like editing videos and shit like that. But he is actually, I believe, setting up a tournament, which is gonna be funny.
That would be pretty funny.
It'd be great.
Uh, yeah, that's something I would actually be interested in, like seeing a little bit
Just
of.
seeing what would happen. Um,
Yeah, just
there's
because it's like, but I think he should set it up where it's like we have a tournament this day for like,
well, what he's
or
doing.
we get the Warzone players
Well,
to play
well,
CDL.
that's what they're doing. So one match will be like hard point on this, and then they're gonna go to like a game of Warzone, and then go back and
Yeah.
forth. Um, um, Another thing that's been happening. This guy named Frosty. He's a
Oh God.
he was a part of a thing. He was a part
Hundreds
of
of Thieves, right?
Yeah, he was a part of 100 Thieves, but he had like a group of people, and they were called the Mob. But they joined
Hmm.
100 Thieves, and I don't know, like this year he left or whatever. His contract was over. I'm not too sure exactly. I don't know if he just left or his contract was over. But he pretty much was just giving a bunch of beef towards the organization towards Nate Shaw about that he was barely, making enough money, and he barely could eat and all this stuff. Which was really funny because when he said that, someone literally retweeted a fucking or put a quote on his tweet showing a picture of him of his setup like a year ago, and this motherfucker had food all over the place. Like he just had McDonald's bags, Jack in the Box. He had a bunch of just fast food, bags everywhere by his setup.
Hmm.
Like this motherfucker be eating good. Like don't tell me you're
Yeah.
not. But I'm like, so they pretty much offered him 60K um
60K for a year, right?
for the
Per year.
contract. So
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure like how, if it was a year or 2 years. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but he got paid 60K. And he had to live in LA. He had to live close to the 100 Thieves headquarters so he could do like content stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this man was bitching that he didn't get paid enough and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, dude, you were asked to be a part of this organization. You weren't forced. You didn't have to. You knew the contract. It wasn't like they were like, oh, we were going to give you this, but we lied. It's like, nah, dude, you're obviously, this is written down. This is set in stone. Like
Yeah, this is on paper. This is a legal form. You signed it. They explained it. You had the ability to read the whole thing.
if you didn't like it, you didn't have to join. That's
Yep.
it. And on top of this, it's like, dude, before you joined, you were making money. You were grinding.
Hmm.
And to me, it's like, dude, if someone offered me 60K just to join and be a part of that, that gives me a good opportunity to fucking grind more than I've ever have, and be successful and show these people like what um what I'm about and stuff. And this is a good opportunity to expand since you're a part of such a big organization like 100
Hmm.
Thieves. Like I just can't imagine getting 60K just to be a part of something, and then bitch about it.
Yep.
And he's like, and he had admitted that he didn't
He
really
stopped streaming as much,
he
and
didn't grind that hard and stuff like that, and he could have easily made 2K. It's like, bro, if you think you can easily make 2K a month,
then why weren't you?
why the fuck did you not do that? I mean,
What pisses me off the most about it though is I couldn't live off 60K a year. It's like, dude, the like average income is for like people your age is like 20 to 35K a year. You're making like double what most of these people are making, and they are able to like live just fine. Like if I was making 30K a year, I could probably live on my own and sustain myself just fine. Like living in like a one bedroom or a studio apartment and have my Wi-Fi, have my fucking like TV services,
yeah, yeah,
and
he was getting paid, yeah, for 1 year 60K,
fuck
60K,
him.
dude, 60K for that whole year, okay? And think about it. Imagine you made 60K, and that's just 60K for being a part of
For
it.
just joining it.
And yeah, he complained that he had to pay rent and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, you're getting paid additionally with the stuff that you do, like, streaming or whatever the fuck you do on the side.
Yeah, like, dude, that's a 60K bonus. Like, that is a signing bonus. What?
Yes. And this man was bitching and moaning about it and taking shots at Nate Shot. It's like,
Yeah, no,
that
that's
is
fucking that's stupid.
that it upsets me because it's like, if I was in that position, oh fuck, dude, I'd be so happy. I'd be pushing myself to do crazy shit. And
Yeah.
from a side note, it's like, dude, especially with I'd have to show you like the picture of all the fucking fast food bags he had in his room. I mean, it was like not normal.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if you're gonna bitch about money, you're literally spending more money on all this fast food than buying groceries. Like, piss off.
Yeah. Like, you can not just that, it's like, how fucking spoiled are you that you're not able to live off 60K a year? And like, I know it's because he's eating out all the time, and it's like, dude, like, what the fuck are you doing? You can still make food at home. Like, how fucking lazy and spoiled are you if you're just gonna sit there and be like,
Uh,
oh yeah, I'm just gonna eat out for every meal a day?
And he only streamed for 40 hours a month. 40 hours. Dude, I streamed 7 hours yesterday. I streamed 8 hours today.
Yeah, that you literally almost did half of it in 2 days of what he does in a month, or what he was doing in a month.
In a month. That's
Like,
being lazy as fuck, dude.
like I could understand if it was like like he had to do all this other organization shit that he wasn't being paid for and he didn't have the time. But no, I've seen it's like, no, he had nothing to do other than like stream,
Well,
like,
and I'm
and
sure.
occasionally have something that I'm sure with 100 Thieves, like an organization, like meetings and like meet and greet, that kind of shit.
Well, on top of that, I'm sure he was getting sponsors too. So God knows what else he was getting from the side with sponsors.
Yeah, because
Because
like,
usually when you're part of an organization that big, you get sponsored by someone.
yeah, because he was a Call of Duty guy, right?
I don't know what he does.
I think
All I know is he posted a lot of memes on Twitter. I know that was a
I
big thing that I've seen. That's the
I
only.
want to say he was a Call of Duty guy,
I
and
don't know.
assuming that he's a Call of Duty guy. Let's just go with that. Chances are he was a console player because the tournaments are done on PlayStation, and so
Tournaments are actually, they use PCs. Believe it or not,
oh, they use PCs now.
I believe so.
Okay, well, when we went in for the during Black Ops 4, it was still done on PS4s,
Yeah.
and so like, you know, chances are if you're a pro or you're someone who streams a lot of Call of Duty and you're a big name, and your chances are you're sponsored by either Scuff or Battle Beavers or someone along those lines, and that's not going to be something small. Chances are he had something set up with G Fuel.
With probably his headset, fucking
His
controller, mouse, keyboard. He has all that shit covered, dude.
Yeah. Not to mention the things that he gets from 100 Thieves that he in line will get sponsorships
And
for.
I'm sure he
Like,
gets free clothes. He got free clothes and shit, or
yeah,
something along the line, or discounts. I don't fucking know. I don't know exactly what he got, but it's like
chances are he got free
at the end of
merch.
the day, he's a spoiled fucking brat, and he's bitching about him not working hard enough. That's all.
Yeah,
He's not working hard enough. He's a lazy motherfucker, and he
yeah,
he doesn't admit it. He even said that he doesn't need to show proof. There's no.
yeah. Even though, if I'm
It's
not
like, dude, if you're gonna
mistaken,
throw
Nade Shot literally like pulled out fucking
if
receipts
you're
and
gonna
shit.
if you're gonna throw accusations towards someone and talk shit about an organization that you were a part of, you better fucking back it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like sort of like on topic but off topic. It's kind of it's something that's happened a lot with our judicial system in the last like 20 years or so. Because the way our judicial system was set up originally was, if I were to sue you, Bailey, or I was taking you to court for something, it was originally intended the burden of proof was on the person making the accusation. So if I accused you of stealing $1,000, I would have to prove to the court that you did it. And in the last like 20 years, they've changed it to where, you know, not on paper, but they've basically made it. Oh yeah, you, the person who is has the accusation against you, you have to prove you didn't do it. And so, you know, now a lot of people have this mentality of, I can make the accusation and it's going to stick, and he's going to have to defend himself, and I'm not going to have to. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, dude, especially you, Nate Shot, like mess with my boy, dude. I love Nate. I mean, I've been watching this man since NW3, so
And I'm not like a huge like, I don't watch streams a lot. I don't watch like Call of Duty YouTubers. I never was into it. But I do remember seeing some Nade Shot stuff, and I have seen some stuff from time to time because I actually like Nade Shot as a person. He's a cool dude.
I think he actually bitched about some people in the 100 Thieves were making more than him. It's like, dude, have you not in any organization ever? It's like, dude, football.
The wide receivers make more than the linemen. The quarterback makes more than anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, fuck off.
Yeah,
You know, and I'm sure, and yeah, and I'm sure he bitched about that too. So,
it's like, dude, you're just a streamer for 100 Thieves, probably at this point,
oh
or
no, I'm
second.
sorry. He was bitching about that. That's why I brought it up. But yeah, dude,
Yeah,
he literally bitched about it, and I'm just like,
yeah. It's
bro.
like, dude, like, yeah, like the people who play like the games professionally, like especially 100 Thieves, like Call of Duty team.
Yeah,
They're gonna be the people that are like the I want to say starting lineup, because I
yeah.
know they have backups and shit. Like the starting lineup, yeah, they're going to be making more than you because they're the reason that they're there in the first place.
Well,
People know those
and it's
people
a
more than anyone
it's a
else.
pro team, by the way, and and I'm sure they're getting help fed. They're gonna be help pay travel because I mean,
Yeah,
these guys got to fucking. This is their job.
yeah, they get paid to go to fucking Minneapolis, to New York City, to L.A., Miami,
If
and chances are the organization is going to pay for the plane
if you
tickets, pay
didn't,
for the
if you
hotel
think
rooms, the
they were
food.
unfair, then fucking didn't need to join in the first place.
Yeah,
So, yep, I saw that and I just like, oh my god, what an ungrateful piece of shit. That's all I gotta say.
yeah,
Um, but let's get into some games, man. So the Lies of P, it is a Souls-like game that's coming out, I believe, by the end of this year or next year. I think it's next year. Um,
yeah,
it looks dope. It looks like a mixture of Bloodborne and, like you said, BioShock. And I agree. I didn't think about it, but I'm like, yeah, it has that BioShock feel, but it has, that Bloodborne feel too. So it's
yeah, and like I, a little bit after I said that, I think I figured out a better way to put it. It's a mix of steampunk and Victorian Gothic. The look of Bloodborne, which is like Gothic Victorian shit, and steampunk. And I think that's kind of interesting. I'm not 100% sure because I was never really big into like the steampunk thing, but it looks pretty well utilized, and it looks like a pretty good blend of like something kind of like Bioshock Infinite and Bloodborne, and I think it could be really interesting, especially with the little bit of
I'm
gameplay we saw.
I I'm not gonna pre-order it. I won't.
No,
But
I don't pre-order games
I'll
anymore in
probably
general.
wait a week or a couple days to see what people think about it. Chances are, if it's good, I'm buying it, or I'm absolutely gonna buy it if it's good.
Oh
So,
yeah,
um, in for me being a new Souls player, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm actually
yeah,
genuinely excited. I think it's gonna be good. I really do.
yeah.
Um,
And something I really appreciated, they're kind of doing some things that are like unique to like their thing, because the issue right now with Souls likes is we're having a lot of games come out that are calling themselves a Souls like, but they have no real identity. And so like, a good example is like Mortal Shell. Like you watched me play that the last time you were here in Texas,
yeah,
and while I think the game could have been longer, and I think they did have some misfires, I really liked it because it was original and it had its own unique thing of,
pairing.
like the parrying, and you use the hardening mechanic to stop to make enemies reverb, and you can like stop mid attack to freeze, and then after they've hit you and bounce back, you can let go and finish the attack and get the same attack power. And I think that was really cool.
I want to play that game. I do want to play it. I hopefully it runs better on PS5 than it did on PS4. Because good God,
It probably does, and I think they have an enhanced version for PS5 because it came out around that time.
because it did
But
run a
then,
little shitty. But to be fair,
yeah,
it was pretty impressive because was the first game these guys have made
yeah, it was
altogether.
a
So
brand new studio doing something completely new, and like they didn't have like this huge budget. It was basically an indie game,
yeah, yeah,
and I think it was technically a double A because I think that it wasn't just like a couple dudes making it. I think it was like a full blown studio.
I was
But
impressed when
like,
you were playing. I was like, wow,
yeah,
this
I
is
mean,
good.
I figured I would like it to some aspect, but then I ended up like actually really enjoying it. But then you have some Souls like games which are like you, you had sent that thing for the Lords of the Fallen,
Hmm.
which is a reboot of a game from like 2014. And I remember playing that because I got it for free on Games with Gold on Xbox years ago. And I mean, I don't really have an issue with a game necessarily being easier than Bloodborne or Dark Souls. So like it was a little easier, and I was able to get through it a little bit better. But it was just like a dumbed down version of Dark Souls. Like the more I played it, it was like the combat was the same, but it was also like really generic, and
So
like there
it's just
was,
Dark Souls but basic.
yeah, it was like really
Uh,
basic Dark Souls. Like if Dark Soul, like no, if it was like Demon Souls when it was still like in beta phase or maybe even alpha,
hmm.
and so it was like it just wasn't a good game. It's like you could tell that like if they had put more time and effort into it, it maybe could have been something. But there was nothing original, and it's so generic and basic. And people like I remember seeing some people who were arguing. It's like no, it has its own style, and it's like it really doesn't. They just basically were like, okay, it's Dark Souls, but we're having like an occasional Nordic reference, but it was still just cut Dark Soul shit. And I really didn't like that. And when I saw stuff for Liza P, I was like, okay, so someone's just trying to make Bloodborne again. And when I actually saw gameplay, I was actually like, this could be really good because it's like, yeah, they definitely took stuff from Bloodborne, but like they have the hunter tool equivalent, but it wasn't used for parrying in the video. This guy used it to pull an enemy from another rooftop onto his so he could kill him. And it also has almost like a super meter, and for like a super special attack that you can use to like phase an enemy and get a backstab instead of having to strictly rely on sneaking, which is really, really annoying in Dark Souls, or the Sekiro thing of do enough damage to their posture bar. And so I was like, this really does like appear right now, like this could be the next Souls like that is on the tier of like Neo.
I'm again, I'm pretty excited. I just saw some gameplay and I think the game itself looks beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
I'm
look good.
I'm kind of interested how the bosses are gonna be though, because like, and I kind of want to know the lore because I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that from the little bit I saw, like the it looked like the lantern or bonfire was like something to read the stars. Like it was like some stargazing thing,
Hmm. I
and
didn't see
like
that.
it was like right at the beginning. It was right before he talked to that robot, and the I watched like 5 minutes of the 11-minute video right before we started this, and I saw some of the items he picked up, and they were all based on like astronomy and the moon and astrology even a little bit, and
That's
it was
cool.
like
That's actually
that's
interesting
yeah, it's like I'm not a big like astrology guy, but I do definitely find it at least a little interesting.
that they're using that concept.
Yeah, especially for a Souls like, it's like that's not something I've ever seen utilized for a Souls like. Granted, I mean the Souls like genre has grown so much, and it's
I'm
like
afraid. I'm actually afraid of it.
yeah, it can be a little daunting, especially considering like some people are like, oh, this game that's not a Souls like, we're calling it a Souls like because it's hard.
Well, it's like my I'm a little scared because every time movie, games, doesn't matter. Any genre that blows up, it turns to shit.
Yep, it eventually
Every
gets
time.
way too
Hell,
flooded.
even
It's
music. This happens
inevitable.
in music, dude.
Yep,
It's anything. So
yep,
I'm a little scared about Souls because the thing with Souls games is they're fucking unique. They're fun. They're so different than any other game, than any
yep.
genre, I should say. So that's why I
Yeah,
like them. I mean, I'm not that good at them, but I think I've gotten better at them for
no,
sure.
you definitely have, and it's like I do kind of fear that too because even with Elden Ring, it was like, I said this in the last one. It's like I liked it, but I don't want it again because it's like it was fine to do this kind of thing once, but I think we're going a little too far, or we're trying to reach for something that isn't there. And I'm okay with exploring new ideas in anything. That's how genres grow. That's how we got rock music from blues. That's how we got heavy metal from rock. That's how we got all these different subgenres within metal and rock, was doing new things and try and expand it. And that's how you get it in video games. That's how you get it in movies. And I'm always a fan of exploring new ideas, but you, be, there's not enough of that. It just turns into I'm gonna do what someone else did, but try and do it in a different way, but not different at all. It's like They're basically just going. I'm gonna do it again and try and perfect it. And it's like, but it didn't need to happen. And you're taking something that's a gem and you're gonna break it.
It's gonna happen. I mean, eventually it will happen, and then we can
Yeah.
talk shit about it.
Yep. Be like, oh, I remember in my day when Dark Souls 3 came out and it was god tier.
I'm gonna piss you off. No, I'm gonna really piss you off.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about this is something you play. You've played I think all of them for the most part. What do you think about the new Saints Row game?
Ugh.
Have you seen
Okay.
anything about it?
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't seen everything because I know Angry Joe was gonna play it and do a review, so I'm gonna wait and
Can
like
Let me tell you
I
something, dude.
I've
That
seen some stuff.
that game, like if that game was made in 2010, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
But that game looks like it was made in 2010, dude.
Hmm. Yeah. When I remember when it first got announced, I saw there's a new Saints Row, and I was for a second, the little kid in me, I say little kid, but like 13-year-old me was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Let's get it.
And because I loved Saints Row. Saints Row Third is still one of my favorite games of all time. That was the first GTA like game I ever sunk real hours into. I wanted to go for the platinum trophy back in the day, but I didn't want to do all the challenges. And so I basically 90% the game. I did everything but complete the challenges.
From
And
what I've heard, I've never played Saints Row, but from what I've heard from you and other people, and just watching other videos about Saints Row in general, I've heard like really good things about the series itself.
it's really good. It like the first game is definitely janky, and like initially I was kind of hoping they were doing a remake to modernize it. Um, but the second one is when they really like had their own identity, and it wasn't as much like you know um political and like societal satire. It was more of like there was definitely that level of satire because it's still like it's supposed to be kind of like GTA,
Hmm.
but it was centered around you're the leader of a gang in 2 and 3 and 4, but 2 and 3, you're the leader of a gang, and you're in an area where you have like you're brand new, you have no territory, and you have to grow and expand yourself to the point that you control the entire city. And the stories, while not like fucking God of War fucking level, are still really good considering it's a GTA like game. And they're really fun, and they were so fucking wacky. And like, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of it. In Saints Row the Third, there was literally a weapon called the Penetrator. It was a
I think
like
you told me
27,
this.
yeah, it was a 27-inch purple dildo on a baseball bat hilt, and it was a one-shot kill on normal enemies. You literally would just walk up to some fucking gang member that was walking on the street and hit him with a giant dildo when they die. It was hilarious, and it was fun, and it was like it wasn't perfect, but it was just a lot of fun, and in my own mind it was kind of perfect. And so when I saw that, there was that part of me that was like, yes, I can have the nostalgia, I can go huff my copium. Nope. I saw the trailer and I was like, no, this looks too much like they're trying to relive the glory days in a modern time and try and be way too like PC, which is like anti Grand Theft Auto, anti Saints Row.
It doesn't work.
No, you can't
Eh,
have GTA and
Especially
have it be
GTA.
like politically correct.
Imagine if GTA was, dude. People would hate it.
That
Is it
they've
like,
said GTA 6 is going to be more politically correct.
it's like, dude, like that's what makes GTA funny because they make fun of everyone. It's kind of like South Park. Like they make fun of Hicks, they make fun of like liberals, they make fun of conservatives. They make fun of everyone, and I love that. I
Yeah.
love that idea. I think it's funny to make fun of everyone because
Yeah.
it's great. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't think you can make fun of other people unless you can make fun of yourself. And so like the in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, like you're playing as an Italian dude in the 80s. They're making fun of Italians. They're making fun of black people. They're making fun of white people. They're making fun of everyone. And that was something they've always done from basically Vice City on, when there was like real narrative and your character wasn't just some dude on a screen.
It's funny.
It
It's
is.
genuinely funny. And nowadays, it's like you can't make fun of anything. It's like, dude, if you're telling me, a game or anything makes fun of everyone and everything,
Mhm.
how is that? And that's not even that's that's great. I think that's a good thing. That makes everyone come together and laugh in a way.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it's necessarily okay to make fun of one specific group,
Agreed. Like if it was
because
if
then
it
it's just bullying, and that's when you start like hitting like, no, that's actual racism.
yeah, exactly. But if you're making
But
fun of everything, then
yeah,
who cares?
if you don't take anything seriously, and you're just like, we're having fun, we're making jokes, we're making fun of everyone, then it's funny. And it's like, yes, chances are you're going to have those fringe people who are like, yeah, this is fucked up. But it's like that's the minority here. Like most of the people, when Saints Row 2 and 3 and like GTA 4 and 5 came out, they like, yeah, you had some of those fucking like hardcore liberals and hardcore conservatives who are like, oh, this is a fucking
It
travesty.
is, yeah, dude, I put this in our in this game. My kids aren't gonna
Yeah.
play this shit.
And but like everyone else was like, no, this is fucking great. This is hilarious.
That's
We're making fun of everyone.
that's why I like South Park. That is literally why South Park is the best show in existence.
Yeah, it's my favorite animated show. Like, yeah, I probably watch more American Dad, like, but just that's just because it's like something I don't want to pay attention to. Really, it's more like background noise. Whereas South Park, I always find myself, even though I've seen some of those episodes like 100 fucking
Makes you
times, I swear,
laugh.
yeah, it makes me laugh, and I want to pay more attention to it because sometimes you just pick up like some random thing you never picked up on before.
Yeah, I mean they literally make fun of everyone, and I love
Yeah,
it, and I love it, I love it, love it. But yeah, overall the game, even the gameplay itself, I'm just like, what the
yeah.
fuck?
I've from the little bits I've seen, it was like, you know, they were trying to correct what they did with Saints Row 4, which, like, I don't know. Okay, I know you don't know this
No,
really, but Saints Row 4 was, um, it was original in a way. It was, you are now the president of the United States. You went from a leader of a gang
that's
to being president of the United
that's some
States,
Giga
and then
Chad shit right there.
you get kidnapped by aliens. Literally, aliens invade. You get kidnapped, and you're stuck in a simulation. And you have actual superpowers. And it kind of took a lot of like the Saints Row and Grand Theft Auto shit, and just was like, this isn't Saints Row Grand Theft Auto anymore. Because like it's Saints Row, it's a Grand Theft Auto clone. There's cars, there's Lamborghinis, there's Bugattis, there's like all those cool shit. Why would I drive it when I can? Oh, I'm at the lowest point of the map, and I need to go to this point of the map over here. Okay, I can drive there and be there in like 5-10 minutes, or I can run up the skyscraper that's 2 feet in front of me and fly across the entire map in 2 minutes. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna just like, no, I'm not gonna fucking drive around, especially in a game that it's the same city from three, and like exactly, there's no like good music really. All the like political funny shit isn't there. Like, no, I'm just gonna fucking run up the side of the building, go get through the story, and be done.
I don't know how Saints Row games are with their just listen to the radio. But like I always found that like listening to GTA, like the radio stations are fucking hilarious. They were
It's
funny. They
not.
were genuinely
It's
funny. Like like
yeah,
even like GTA 4 and stuff. You're like like the most random things would be on the radio and you just laugh because
yeah,
it was some funny shit.
yeah, and like it was there still in Saints Row 2, and they kind of dumbed it down, or not dumbed it down. They kind of like took it out a little bit in Saints Row the Third, but it was still there. And then in Saints Row 4, it was either like if it was there, it wasn't good, or it just wasn't there. And Saints Row the Third, though, they had a couple really good songs on there, and they had an ability in that game where if you're driving in your car, you could, as one of the radio stations, you had a mixtape, and you could put all the songs you like and throw it on, and it'll just play the songs that you like from your mixtape. Basically, like having the aux cord in your car.
That's dope.
And I really only listened to two songs from that game because one of them was a death metal song I really liked, and then another one was a rap song I liked. "Power" by Kanye West. The fucking like
Hey,
the song that literally was like the main thing of the game. It was in the trailers and one of the most iconic missions ever in Saints Row. And I would just listen to those two, but like I would still sometimes turn on the radio and just listen to some of the funny shit. And with this new game, I've heard that like the song choices suck, the jokes and everything aren't there. The jokes that are like scripted and everything that are supposed to make you laugh at like certain points are very much like misses, like they miss the mark completely.
I heard
The
the game's
gameplay,
I heard it's buggy too.
yeah, it's really buggy, and the gameplay is just like it's true. It feels somewhere in between Saints Row 2 and Saints Row the Third. And Saints Row 2, it like at the time it had good enough gameplay, but like when but like it needed to like move forward, and Saints Row the Third was refreshing. And now it's like, okay, you worked yourself backwards, and like too far, and that just it makes me mad, especially considering how much I love Saints Row.
That, well, that's why I'm like, dude, is GTA gonna be bad? I've liked GTA, but honest to God, Red Dead Redemption, if they ever announced one in the future, I'd be more happy for that than GTA any day of the week. I
Yeah,
fucking love Red Dead Redemption. Honestly, in my opinion, they put. It seems to me they take care of that series way better, way better.
yeah.
I
In
mean,
terms of the story and like the world, I think they take better care.
yeah, I
But
100%.
like I don't know if you knew, Red Dead Redemption 2 online is like barely even
I
supported
heard
anymore.
it's trash. I
It
heard
was
it's bad.
trash at the beginning, and it because it just missed the mark. Um, it just stopped being supported within like 6 7 months, and so and like it also has, because you know how in GTA Online it's like this car in the main game is $200,000 for the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
It's like 2.5 mil in online.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, imagine it's like, okay, this horse in the main game costs like $40. It's now 2,000 to buy a fucking horse. And it's like, bro, this
The
is
currency, it's not there in that game.
yeah, and it's like I get it. I don't want to pay $2 million for a horse either. But like, $2,000 for a fucking horse in a video game is kind of stupid, especially considering it's just a good horse.
Well,
And
like,
even
and
then,
people need to
there
know Red
was
Dead Redemption was it's not made. It's not a modern game. It's
no Red Dead Redemption is an
the
old west, like
1800s.
it's a retrospective game. It's not it's made by the Grand Theft Auto people, but it's like completely separate. It doesn't feel like Grand Theft Auto
No,
except for
and
like
it
gameplay.
and it's they actually have taken things from Red Dead Redemption to the new GTA or the newest GTA that's been it's been out for years
Yeah, they took some stuff from Red Dead Redemption
with the
1 and put it into GTA.
wheel, and even like the X's when you shoot at someone,
Yep.
and
And
stuff like that. Which I think is a great. I think is a great thing they did add.
yeah, that was definitely a good thing. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably going to have some things that will be in GTA 6 will have some things from Red Dead Redemption 2 probably.
And if they never ever make another Red Dead Redemption, I'm okay with it because I don't want them to ruin it.
Yeah, and like I don't know how many like leaks you've heard because for GTA 6, but like things have been confirmed and leaked. They have said they are eh, like first of all they said female protagonist, and like then like you had some like the incel dudes who were like, I don't want to play as a fucking female, and it's like, honestly, like,
I don't
you
care
know,
as a person that plays
yeah,
video games. I don't care. My thing is, it's how if I can relate to them too. That always makes me feel connected to the character a lot
yeah,
too.
or they have like an actual personality that isn't like a
It's
wet
likable,
blanket.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's a person that's likable.
yeah,
For
because
me,
well, I will also say that there's a difference between unlikable because of they're trying to make them like political, and then there's you're making someone unlikable because they're supposed to be unlikable.
yeah,
So like you remember the show Victorious from like when we were kids?
Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Had Victoria Justice. She was at a fucking performing arts school. So one of my friends was watching it, and he was like, "Hey, do you remember her older sister being this unlikable?" And I was like, "Honestly, I hardly remember the show." And he was like, "Just watch this episode." And I was like, "All right." And she was written purposely to be completely unlikable, and but that makes the character like it makes you kind of like the character because it was made to be like she's supposed to be annoying, she's supposed to be
It's
conceited.
kind of like Frank from Shameless.
Yeah, or like Trevor from a GTA 5.
Yeah, exactly.
They're pieces of shit, but you kind of like them because like they're meant to be unlikable because they actually still have a character
They
and their
literally made the
character is
character
bad.
for that reason.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And GTA, it's like the things we've seen, it's probably going to be it's one of the characters you're going to be playing as is a female. And chances are, because they've also said they're like making it way more politically correct, like straight up, they were like, yeah, no, like we're not going to be like making as many racist jokes. We're not going to be making jokes against liberals,
Sexist.
not sexist. And it's like, or as sexist and racist and shit. And it's like, you're
Yeah.
like, that means that this female character, chances are, is either going to be
A strong,
like,
independent woman,
yeah,
dude.
she's either going to be a strong, independent woman, or she's going to be a black woman who's like has a hate boner for white people. And it's like, you know, that's not making a character. That's just making something that makes liberals and like hardcore lefts, like absolutely ridiculously far left people, like really happy. And it's like that's you're taking away the point of Grand Theft Auto
The whole
if
point
this
is to
is
make fun of
what.
everyone.
Yeah, and I mean this is like from the developers
Even
apparently.
even
Like,
even if they went from like, doing the opposite, saying like more of a conservative game, I would still be like, they should not do that. They should
yeah,
make fun of fucking everyone.
yeah, it's like the thing that was always fun was like, oh, and like, we're making fun of the fucking liberals here. You got the fucking hippies who are just absolutely stupid, but then you've got those gun-toting rednecks that make all the fucking Republicans look
like
retarded. And it's
idiots.
like, yeah, and it's like,
Yeah,
you know, th- like that was fun because it's making fun of everyone, and I like making fun of everyone.
I agree.
I especially liked when they made fun of the liberals and the conservatives because I make fun of them both because
Because
I'm a centrist. It's
well,
like, yeah, this is perfect.
and I could laugh about it because it makes sense.
Yeah. And yes, I do personally like making fun of liberals more because they're easier to piss off. But it's I'm in the center. I make fun of everyone, and it's like that's why I liked Grand Theft Auto. And now you're taking this away from me, and it's like if this is actually what they're doing, I won't get GTA
If the
6.
thing is they're making it to make a political point, you're fucking. That's not GTA. It's not GTA.
Yeah,
It's not GTA.
your political point was the political point of GTA was always not like left or right leaning. It was always
Y'all are dumb.
we're yeah, and it was always like we're gonna piss off all you hardcore left and right people, and your kids are gonna buy it, and you're gonna buy it for them.
And y'all are gonna love it.
Yep, and your kids are gonna be super happy, and you're gonna be pissed off, and we're gonna have your money, and we're gonna make fun of you because you just paid us for something you hate. And I
Well,
loved that.
so and then that's pretty much what's going to happen with Saints Row, right?
Oh, Saints Row, like Saints Row, it's the like I don't know. Saints Row is like
It's probably in
yes,
ways worse.
it
Well,
is
what GTA
worse.
is going to be for the next, for the next GTA.
Because GTA will still like have some of the bones of GTA and like the nice world that's big and like beautiful, and it'll probably still have some wacky characters.
And
And they didn't
GTA
say
Line
they're
will probably blow the fuck up.
that's like the worst part of it for me. But
I agree.
it's whereas Saints Row, it's like no, this isn't even like this is a Saints Row clone. It's not even like this is a clone
It almost looks
of a
like a
clone.
knockoff. It just looks like a knockoff Saints Row.
Yeah, I mean, I like even when I was watching the trailer, it was like this doesn't even look like Saints Row. It looks like if like the dudes who made I don't even know, like some fucking indie developer who'd had no idea what he was doing made it.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think? So, do you think they'll like continue to make Saints Row games, or they're just gonna fucking cut it? I
I
know your answer, what you want, because you want them not make any, because they're just gonna fuck with it. But
so I actually think that they should make more, but they should get it in the hands of the right people.
like the people
Because
that first,
Saints
damn well, it's not the people that made the original, the
no.
OGs.
No, that company Volition is owned by now the like you heard that like a bunch of studios like Gearbox got bought up by a new company, right?
Yeah.
That company is actually now the biggest gaming company in the world. It owns more companies than Xbox, PlayStation, Take Two. Take Two are the people who own like Grand Theft Auto, like
Yeah.
the Rockstar and everything. Yeah, they own more companies than anyone. They are now the biggest ones, and they own Volition. And this company's probably never going to let Volition make anything, especially since Saints Row 4, I think was their last. No, Saints Row Gat Out of Hell, which was just a spin off of 4, was horrible. But I think if you get it in the hands of someone who loves it as much as like me or Angry Joe or like my friend Sean, that like understands what made GTA good, I think it could continue to be something that comes out every 5-6 years, like Grand Theft Auto, because it's nice to have the game that is, you know, super fucking like we're making fun of everyone, but it's also nice to have the one that plays like it but is about being silly.
Yeah.
And that's something that I would enjoy. But if it's the current developer for this game, no, I don't want them to make it
It's a big
anymore.
fat L.
Yeah. And
It's the
you
same.
know
It's the
what? Let
same
me.
thing. It's the same thing with Battlefield, dude. It is almost
Yeah.
the same thing with having to deal with a shitty. It's a knockoff. Like the new Battlefields are just a knockoff of what they used to be.
Yeah,
You
they
can.
are. And apparently, a lot of the people who, oh, son of a bitch. I just looked it up. The people who made the new Saints Row are the people who made the old ones. So now I'm even more upset. But anyways, so the people who made Battlefield, like back during like Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3, um, they haven't been at the company for years. I actually saw one of the games that got announced, I believe at Gamescom, is being made by the people who made Battlefield 3 and Battlefield Bad Company 2. And I was like, "What? That's not EA." And I looked and it was like, "No, they've been gone since like Battlefield 4. Like
Yeah.
Battlefield 4 was their last one and then they were like, "Yeah, no."
All right. Peace.
Yeah, cuz they were
I
like, "No, EA is
I
bad."
sent you a text about this. I have you about Sony and Tencent or some shit like that. A company.
Tencent?
Yeah. They acquired 30.34% of From Software.
Yeah.
That that actually might mean possibly we might get a chance. There might be a PlayStation exclusive again from Software. I don't know yet.
That was always a possibility because like Demon Souls back on the PS3 was a PlayStation exclusive. The remake is a PS5 exclusive. Bloodborne is an exclusive. And there was talks back during Dark Souls 1 of them doing it as an exclusive. But they decided, nah, Xbox is going to be a lucrative one for us if we actually release it because people were like, um, Demon Souls is dope, but I don't want to get a PS3. I'm gonna emulate it, and they're like, well, fuck, we missed the mark. Let's release Dark Souls on Xbox. Whereas with Bloodborne, it was like PlayStation specifically went to From Software and was like, we want you to make a game for us, and they agreed. It was basically like a contract, like, hey, we want you to make something uh, but not Dark Souls.
Yeah, and I mean 30.34% is quite a bit. So I'm
That's literally a third of it.
yeah. So dude, I don't know.
I would be pretty happy.
I don't see. I don't care. Like because I'm I have a PC, so I have a PC and a PlayStation, so I don't care what exclusives go to what because I have all the I have the PC. I have all the fucking requirements to have that exclusive.
Yep.
Because
You,
Xbox is always gonna have all their
all of the,
exclusives on PC.
yep. Yep, they
So
won usually.
so it's like I'm not missing out. But for someone that has Xbox, this fucking blows dick or has a PC.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I don't know. I'd be interested to see what happens here in the next couple years. And it
Dude,
could also be
Bloodborne 2.
that I wish, but they like right after Elden Ring came out, like, or actually it was before Elden Ring came out. There was a leak that they were already like working on another thing. And a couple months ago, um, the dude who runs the like Dark Souls development, Miyazaki, he confirmed it was like, oh yeah, that game, our next Souls like is already like more than halfway done. And I was like, what, Elden Ring just came out. What the hell? And it was like, yeah, no, they've been working on it for a couple of years. It's and from the like the name of the project and everything, it could be a Bloodborne 2. I
Hmm.
really doubt it, and I'm not one of those people who's like, I want Bloodborne 2 or I want Bloodborne on PC. It's not happening, dude. But it the name of the project does not fit something of a Dark Souls, because like you look at like the project names that they had before they like released the names of like Elden Ring, Dark Souls. It had like a different naming scheme, and I think the project was called like Project Velvet or something, or Scarlet, and that's something more along the lines of Bloodborne, especially if it was Scarlet, because Scarlet is the color of blood. Bloodborne, it was literally about blood.
I but we'll see. We'll find out in the
Yeah,
future and we'll definitely talk about it. I finally was able to show you the little teaser from The Last of Us. Like what are your thoughts? Like we've been pretty skeptical about this whole fucking thing. We're skeptical about anything that comes off a show or a movie based off a video game, but
yeah. Um, so I do like the actor for Joel. That's Oscar Isaac, right?
no,
No,
no.
no, no. It's
Pedro something.
yeah, yeah. The
It's the guy that played Mandalorian, and he
yeah,
was in Game of Thrones.
yeah. I like him. He's a good actor. He also looks
He looks
kind of like
relatively
Joel.
like Joel. And one thing I noticed too. Oh, sorry, I know your reaction.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, dude, his voice sounded really good. I was actually impressed.
Yeah, it sounded like he was trying to kind of pull a Joel. It
He
didn't sound
he
like he
damn
was
near
just trying to be
sounded like
someone
the
else.
voice actor.
Yeah, and I also I saw in the teaser that Nick Offerman was it is in it, and for anyone who doesn't know, um, if you're a fan of The Office, there's another show made by the people who did that called Parks and Rec.
I think he's supposed to be his brother, dude.
Yeah, I think he is. Uh, Parks and Rec is literally just like The Office, but in my opinion, way better. And he is one of the main characters. He runs the Parks and Rec department for the town that they're in,
He's great.
and he's a good actor, and he's also a comedian, and he's really funny. I really like Nick Offerman, and I've always kind of thought, because I've seen him in some things, that he really has the potential to do something other than comedy. And I'm kind of happy that I saw him, and it kind of gives me like a little hope for him at least.
Well, and the budget's really high for this show, which is good.
Yeah, I could tell.
A high
Like I was
budget.
looking, and it was like, wow, this actually like
It's not
it
some
looks like
Resident Evil fucking shit looking budget.
yeah. I will say HBO in general, like most of their shows are high budget because it's HBO.
That is one thing. It's like if you have a show on HBO, it's gonna be high budget. And for the most part, I have not seen a show on there, any new show that's been on there that looks very low budget looking.
Yeah, I mean, like I've watched a bit of The Sopranos too, like a couple seasons worth, and it like even back then, like in the like late '90s, early 2000s, like no, that was still like really high quality for back then too.
Oh, I
And
agree.
so they've had a lot of like really high quality shit, and like I don't like pretty much any HBO original show. I don't like fucking Watchmen show. I think Euphoria is just, even on like a moral like level, it's like this is not something that we should be watching. At least just in general, it's about fucking high school kids doing drugs, drinking, and having sex. Like this, I get it. This is something that does happen. Let's be honest. The both of us were doing that kind of shit in high school, but it's illegal, and you're kind of essentially celebrating it. But the show is high quality. They have good actors like Zendaya on the show, and the budget is super high, and that's something I will give them. And so I do have hopes, at least on the aspect of from the they're
From the
definitely,
production itself.
yeah, the production itself. It's like they're clearly trying really hard to at least get some of the aesthetic down. I'm just kind of worried about what they're gonna do with, especially Ellie. Like, because they're starting clearly in video game number one,
And they
and
straight up quoted from the video game.
yeah, and it's like, I hope you're not gonna just try and rewrite Ellie to be Last of Us Part Two Ellie, uh, but now it's in the TV show, because it's like I don't like the Last of Us Part Two Ellie. She's not a good person. She's really stupid. Also, I
She,
mean, she literally like throws away a good life
I,
for a hate boner for someone who,
and
like,
on top of
you
that, never actually did it.
yeah, then you backed out of it. Like, it's like, no, I'm sorry. If it was in my shoes, like, first of all, if someone somehow convinced me to do it, like, even though I knew I was going to lose everything I loved, you know, I don't care. I lost everything I loved. I have nothing else to live for at this point but kill you. I'm just going to kill you. And she didn't. So I really hope they're not going to write Ellie in this show.
Or her brother shit too. I mean, or not her brother, Joel's brother.
Yeah.
And and,
Like,
and the thing,
you know,
I I don't know about the actress. I know where she's from. I know her from one thing, and it's from Game of Thrones.
yeah.
I did not care for her character at all, but maybe she'll be a good Ellie. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Joel, I think he'll be fine. I think
And
uh,
I think the Nick Offerman character, whatever he's playing, will be pretty good, because I think it is his brother, or it's the crazy redneck from like halfway through the game who was like living in that fucking like town
oh
that with like,
that was a good, that was a part that was a good part in the game. That was a good part in the game.
yeah, and like that could be what he is. And either way, I do think that that's good. The casting choice is good, but I'm more worried about what they're gonna do with the story and the characters.
I want to see, I want to see some good character development. I want to see a good story, man. I really do. And I want the show to do well. I do.
I
So,
do, but I'm also, it's not it's something where
and I'll
I
watch
don't
it. And I'll watch it.
I'm gonna wait until the full season's out before I decide if I'm gonna watch it or not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna, like, spoiler free, like, read about it
Angry
and just
Joe
like,
ship.
yeah, because I mean, I'm sure like the first season is just gonna be retelling the first game, but just in case they do decide like, no, this is within the universe, but we're doing something different, which I think I'm okay with.
It's about that's the thing. It's okay if they do something different, but make sure it adapts well. That's the main
Yeah,
thing. You have to adapt things well to make it work. If it doesn't
yeah,
adapt
because
well, then it's not gonna be. It's not. It's like Uncharted. That didn't, the movie didn't adapt to the game at all. It just looked
yeah,
like a knockoff, like just
yeah,
Indiana Jones adventure fucking movie.
yeah, and so it's like, if I would be okay if they weren't using Joel and they weren't using Ellie, but it was within the universe, and that I would be more okay with. But it's like, no, you're using specifically Joel and Ellie.
You can't fuck with them. You can't mess with
Yeah,
them.
look, you have the source material, especially on fucking Joel. It's like, no, you know how it starts with his story, and you know how it ends. So you better fucking keep it like good, at least in season one. Like, if you decide in season two that you're gonna like diverge from what happened in part two because the fans hated it, then that's fine. But if you're doing season one on the first game, don't touch it. Do not
I
fuck with it,
I don't.
please.
They could take some aspects of two, but make it better. That makes sense.
Yeah, like some of the more tense stuff in
It,
two. That
if
was
so and so dies, have a good like make the story good surrounding around surrounded around that person's death
Yeah,
in a better way. Take care of that character way better than they did in the game.
yeah, and um, I don't know, like I don't like HBO's shows, so on that level, I'm not excited. But from a strictly production standpoint, and at least the casting of whoever Nick Offerman's playing and
Pedro.
Pedro, it's like I can at least get behind that.
Yeah.
Other than that,
We're always
I'm
skeptical. I mean, that's
yeah,
it's weird. I'm like I want it to go well because I love movies in general. I love shows, movies, and I do like when video games work in a show or a movie, kind of like The Witcher.
mm.
Um,
But I mean,
but it's
The
also
Witcher was originally a book. To be fair,
true. Um, but it's like to me, whenever successful things happen, they start to overdo that genre. Because I guarantee you,
yeah,
within 10 years, we are going to see a record number of movies slash shows trying to adapt to video games. They're going to do it. I
yeah,
already
it's gonna
fucking
come
know.
back.
It's already happening now. It's already
Yep,
happening now. And it's gonna get it's gonna get crazy. And I
yep.
hate when they do this shit because they do this with fucking superhero shit and it's gone
They did it with the
overboard.
zombie shit before that.
Yeah,
I was
I was like,
thinking
was
about
it
it the
like
other
it was
day.
like 2010s and like and
Yeah, like the like early 2000s up until like 2010, it was the we are in the area of zombie shit. And Angry Joe made the joke in his Resident Evil 6 review back in 2012. Other Joe comes in, it's like, "You want to play a zombie game?" And Joe's like, "No!" And it's like, I get it.
I get
I
it.
really do. It
Yeah.
was overplayed, and now we're at that point where superhero shit is like it's been going on as like the hardcore thing
And
since like
now they're gonna probably go to video games. And
Yep.
again, like if it adapts well, listen, if every video game or every movie slash show that they ever make and it adapts well to the video game and it does well, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But the problem is they do so many of these movies slash shows based off video games and they're shit.
Yep.
They're going to be shit. It's just how it
I,
works. It's just how it
yeah.
goes, man. I mean, we already have fucking Resident Evil. They made a movie last year which was god awful. And then they're like, "Hey guys,
That
this
wasn't
was
even last year. It was this year.
no, that was the show this year."
And the movie came out early this
Oh
year.
shit. Okay, so they had a movie. And they're like, you know what, guys? We're gonna make the fans even more pissed off. We're gonna make a fucking show, and it's gonna be like a teen drama bullshit
Yeah. Thank God it got canceled.
after
Um.
season one. Yeah.
Yeah. And like on the video game movie thing, since we're talking about The Last of Us and Resident Evil, there's been talks for a long time, and I think it has been confirmed. There's going to be a Metal Gear Solid movie.
I know it is. It's 100% happening.
Yeah, and I'm
It's not gonna
saying
work.
no. And the reason is now this is kind of a long-winded explanation. It goes into the video games as art argument. So, the video games as art argument is like hilarious to me because I don't think that it should even be a fucking like question. Video games are largely not art anymore because yes, some games are artistic, but at this point, most video games, especially the ones by Sony, are we're making a movie, but it's a video game. Or you have the Hideo Kojima thing where it's like you just want to make a movie but you're making a video game instead. Make a movie. Um Metal Gear Solid is an example of at least the first two is an example of video games of art or as art because as an example in Metal Gear Solid 1, which it looks like they're doing in the movie Metal Gear Solid 1, you can't replicate some things that are in that movie or that are in that game to a movie because there's a section about midway through the game in a boss fight against Psycho Mantis where you walk into the room and he starts talking to you, the player, and he reads your memory card of your PlayStation 1 and will be like, "Oh, I see you've been playing Final Fantasy 7." And then, you sit there and he's taunting you. He's like, "You're never going to be able to hit me," and you keep trying to attack him, and you miss every shot, even if you're shooting at him. And you're like, "What the fuck?" And the way to beat him is to unplug your controller from port 1 and plug it into port 2, because then he can't read what you're doing anymore. You can't adapt that into a movie. It wouldn't work. You're just it does not work at all. And so the fact that they're trying to do this, it's like, yes, Metal Gear Solid does have a complex story that's really good, but what makes Metal Gear Solid work isn't the story, it's everything surrounding the gameplay. Like Metal Gear Solid 3, you have to keep sitting there like every fucking couple minutes you're having to change your camo and your face paint so that you blend in correctly. And in Metal Gear Solid 2, the whole point of the video game is like literally Hideo Kojima or not even Hideo, it's whoever wrote it with Hideo, basically saying to you like free will does not exist and you are the proof. I kept telling you what to do and you just did it and you didn't think a second thought about it. And cat a whole thing about you yourself are not you are Raiden. Raiden isn't some like nameless character. It's you. And casting aside the title as Raiden to be yourself, and you know it can't work at all. And
They're gonna do this with a lot of
it's
shit, dude. I already know
yeah,
it. They're going to push. They're gonna push it to the point. It's just not gonna be. It's not gonna work, man. I see. The Last of Us does work. Uncharted can work.
can work if it's done by
Resident
someone
Evil,
right.
I believe, can work. Uh,
It can. It was a
it can't
video
or it
game
can.
as it can. It's like horror video games can be considered a video game as art, but it's in the gray area of something scary as a video game can also be scary as, a movie. But it's not everything. Like PT was only scary as a video game. Uh and like you controlling it. It didn't even like work as well just watching it. Like watching like fucking some YouTuber playing it. But Resident Evil does work
Because there's literally
because
like a whole universe of that. Like there's a,
yeah, and it's not like trying to fuck with the player. It's like it's just telling a story and you're just controlling someone. It's still scary, like at least the early ones.
yeah, and it's like one thing. It's like I'm okay with them doing this, but they have to do it right, and so that's why I'm like I don't want it in a way because they're gonna fuck up. That's why I said I don't care if they don't make another Red Dead Redemption. I don't even care if they don't
Yeah,
even make another GTA. To be honest, I don't
yeah,
give a shit because they're gonna fuck it up. They are. They're
yeah.
gonna. They're
And
going to fuck
after
it
a
up.
while, it's like it's not original anymore. You're just like
It's the same thing with Souls games. After a while,
yeah, it's like yes, it was original, but after a certain number of attempts, it stops becoming original and refreshing unless you do it sparingly and
yeah.
like sparingly.
Well, yeah,
And
that's the thing
I
too.
will say GTA. It's like I think the reason why GTA 6 could work if they actually like don't try and make the game PC is because they haven't made a GTA since 2013. So it's been a long
They're
time.
due. They are due. And
Whereas like Call of Duty, it's like it's not refreshing at all. Even though it's like, yeah, it's been 3 years since we got Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 2 is not going to be refreshing because I played Call of Duty last year.
yeah, it'd be different if we didn't get it. If we didn't get a Call of Duty since 2019.
Yeah,
That
then
would
it would be
that
like,
then that'd
okay,
be like, oh shit. I think there'd be more hype too. To be
yeah,
honest.
there would be. Whereas like it's like, oh, I'm going to skip this year's Call of Duty and maybe next year I'll get it, and I'm not missing anything because there's still thousands of other people who are going to be like, I'm not going to play this year's Call of Duty either, and I'm just going to keep playing the one I like.
Yeah. Well, I just going back to movies. I just it sucks because like there's some things I do want to see like live action be dope, but it's just like I'm just like they're gonna fuck it up, man. And even even with like Marvel, yeah, they've overdone things because they keep using the problem is they keep using the same formula. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
it's cookie cutter at this
And
point. It's the same story, so it tells the same
I was
message.
watching a podcast about this, and this person was straight up like, dude, it's Disney's so dumb because there's so much source materials for so many characters that actually have fucking amazing stories.
Hmm.
They can easily take that and put that into the movies and actually make something fucking good, not some bullshit message that they're trying to put up for, for a political agenda.
Yeah, or like expand upon like, oh, like kind of like what Punisher did with the Punisher TV series. It's like the TV show started after his whole revenge thing of killing all the people involved with killing his wife, and it took place, yes, during like it was after the revenge thing, but it was like, oh no, it like you missed a couple dudes and it's worse. And it was like, that's nice because it's like, yes, you took the character and you kept him as he should be, and then you expanded it.
Yeah, and
And
it's just more
I think that's a good
refreshing.
thing to do too.
It's refreshing, like, and like not again the formula. It's just over and over. We got to make a joke every scene, and like it's fine to make jokes, but it's to a point where you don't give a fuck about any of the characters because it's just one big joke.
Yeah, it's
There's
like,
no like human emotion. There's nothing where I'm like like the story doesn't latch on to you. The character doesn't latch on to you to the point where you care about that person, and like not as much as like the older Marvel movies.
yeah, it's like, when at the end of Infinity War, when fucking Spider Man, he's like, yeah, I'm scared, Tony, and it's like, damn, that was like actually sad. And
Yeah,
it's like, I don't generally feel anything when watching like Marvel movies or pretty much any movie. Like, I don't get that emotional, but like that one actually kind of made me a little sad. I was like, damn, that's actually like really fucking
because it's like a
sad. And like,
father figure right there. That's
yeah, and like you could see the like actual pain in Tony's eyes and everything, and it was like, nowadays if that was to happen, Tony would just like crack a fucking joke or something, and it's like,
exactly, dude. Exactly. I mean, dude, there's someone that dies in Thor. I've said this before, but someone dies in Thor, and I didn't give a shit because it was just they made a joke to the fucking scene after that, or like
yeah,
it's just like, oh god.
yeah, it's like, if you're gonna have something that impactful, especially like on the character themselves, you have to wait a little bit before
Jokes
the
need to be natural,
timed. Yeah, like,
timed and natural.
you wait 5 minutes at least, but they're like, no, we're waiting 30 seconds, and it's like,
Well,
no,
that
like, you're
character
taking the piss out of it.
exactly. So yeah, and the formula is bad, and they're gonna start creating this fucking formula with these movies slash shows based, adapting to these, quote unquote, adapting to video games, and it's gonna be shit.
Yep.
Occasionally, we're gonna get some bangers. We're gonna get hopefully The Last of Us is a banger. The Witcher is a banger. I haven't seen season 2, but season 1 was.
Yeah,
And
season one really surprised me.
yeah, I mean, I remember you were talking down. You're like, dude, I can't see Henry Cavill as a girl at all. And even Andrew said the same shit. Y'all
Yep.
were talking bad shit about it, and then you guys seen it like, oh my god.
Yeah, I literally was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna give it a try, and I was like, oh fuck, this is good.
Yeah,
Like within like 30 minutes, I was like, oh no, I'm watching this whole season.
yeah, yeah, dude. The first episode was great. So
Yeah.
overall, there we'll find out. I'll definitely be watching it. I definitely would love to do a review. I want to do a review of the new Game of Thrones show. I've heard so far it's pretty fucking good. I've heard some actually really
Um,
good things about it. Um,
I know Sean's like watching it right now. He mentioned it like when I was leaving Brandon's tonight, and I was like, I would have asked more, but he was tired as shit, and I was like, I'll talk to him about it later.
yeah, so I mean, um I'm always I was very skeptical about the show, but hey, if it's good, it's good. I hope it's good. I like Game of Thrones. You know, as even though they fucked up the last couple seasons, I still like the show genuinely. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, this is pretty much for this podcast. I think we went through a lot of things today, man. We talked about
yeah,
Twitch. We talked about the fucking COD pro players and the Warzone pro players, a couple games, and some movies.
yep,
And in the future, I've said this before. I want to later on we're gonna get down in some life experiences, funny things that's happened to our lives. So, we have a bunch of things I want to talk about, but I think video games in shows and movies are just interesting. There's a lot of things happening, and I the movie industry is so broken down. It's the same. It's so broken, especially with video games too. And I really hope we're starting to see people realizing that, and I think we have, especially in the gaming industry.
yeah.
So, but love you guys. I appreciate you guys watching this episode, and I will see you guys in next week.